Hello everyone, today is Monday, August 4th, 2025, Eastern Time. Welcome to Panda Finance. Let's take a look at the top 10 global corporate news stories from the past week. U.S. to hike tariffs on multiple countries starting August 7. President Donald Trump has signed an executive order that will significantly raise tariffs on a wide range of countries, effective August 7. Key changes include a 50% tariff on Brazilian imports, 35% on Canadian goods, 25% on Indian products, and 15% on South Korean exports. The existing tariffs on Mexico have been extended by 90 days. On his Truth Social platform, Trump criticized India's protectionist stance, calling its tariffs among the highest in the world and condemning New Delhi's harsh and unpleasant non-tariff trade barriers. NVIDIA summoned over security flaws in AI chips sold to China. China's Cyberspace Administration summoned NVIDIA on July 31 over security concerns tied to its H20 AI chips sold in the Chinese market. The move comes after reports emerged of serious vulnerabilities in NVIDIA's computing chips, prompting U.S. lawmakers to demand that advanced chip exports include location tracking capabilities. U.S. AI experts claim NVIDIA's geo-tracking and remote shutdown technologies are now fully developed. Chinese regulators have demanded an explanation and supporting documentation in accordance with the country's cybersecurity law, data security law, and personal information protection law. India becomes top smartphone exporter to U.S., surpasses China. India has overtaken China as the leading exporter of smartphones to the U.S., according to Q2 data from Connolly's. From April to June 2025, 44% of smartphones shipped to the U.S. were made in India, up from just 13% a year earlier, driven largely by Apple's ongoing shift in iPhone production to avoid Trump-era tariffs on Chinese goods. China's share plunged to 25% from 61% a year ago. Vietnam, home to Samsung's main production hub, claimed the number 2 spot with a 30% share. Hello everyone, today is Monday, August 4th, 2025, Eastern Time. Welcome to Panda Finance. Let's take a look at the top 10 global corporate news stories from the past week. U.S. to hike tariffs on multiple countries starting August 7. President Donald Trump has signed an executive order that will significantly raise tariffs on a wide range of countries, effective August 7. Key changes include a 50% tariff on Brazilian imports, 35% on Canadian goods, 25% on Indian products, and 15% on South Korean exports. The existing tariffs on Mexico have been extended by 90 days. On his Truth Social platform, Trump criticized India's protectionist stance, calling its tariffs among the highest in the world and condemning New Delhi's harsh and unpleasant non-tariff trade barriers. Palo Alto Networks to acquire CyberArk in $25 billion deal. Cybersecurity powerhouse Palo Alto Networks has agreed to acquire Israeli identity security firm CyberArk in a blockbuster $25 billion transaction. The deal marks Palo Alto's formal entry into the fast-growing identity security segment and comes amid rising demand for integrated security platforms as enterprises consolidate vendors to mitigate breach risks. The acquisition underscores a broader consolidation trend sweeping the cybersecurity industry. JD.com to acquire Ceconomy in record-breaking €2.2 billion European deal. JD.com announced it will acquire all outstanding bearer shares of German electronics retailer Ceconomy through its wholly owned subsidiary, Jingdong Holding Germany, in a deal valued at €2.2 billion, $1.81 billion. The acquisition is set to become the largest European M&A deal ever by a Chinese e-commerce firm. Ceconomy, formerly the core business unit of Metro Group, operates over 1,000 physical stores under the MediaMarkt and Saturn brands. The company reported €22.44 billion in revenue for fiscal 2024. Li Ka-shing CK Hutchison seeks mainland investor for port assets. CK Hutchison Holdings, the Hong Kong conglomerate controlled by billionaire Li Ka-shing, is in talks with a BlackRock-led consortium to bring in a strategic mainland Chinese investor as a key stakeholder in its planned divestiture of ports located at both ends of the Panama Canal. CK Hutchison emphasized that no transaction will proceed without full regulatory approvals from all relevant authorities. Union Pacific to acquire Norfolk Southern an $85 billion mega rail deal. Union Pacific has reached a landmark agreement to acquire Norfolk Southern in a cash-and-stock deal valuing the target company at $85 billion. The transaction will create a transcontinental rail network stretching across 50,000 miles and linking 100 ports across 43 states, from the East Coast to the West Coast. The combined company will have a market cap exceeding $250 billion and generate annual revenue of approximately $36 billion. Tata Motors to acquire Iveco commercial vehicle unit for €3.80 billion. India's Tata Motors will acquire the commercial vehicle division of Italy's Iveco Group in a deal valued at €3.8 billion, excluding Iveco's defense business and proceeds from its divestiture. The acquisition, expected to close in the first half of 2026, will significantly expand Tata's global commercial vehicle footprint. The new entity is projected to sell over 540,000 vehicles annually. Iveco is a market leader in Europe's light commercial vehicle segment. Thank you for tuning in to today's financial news. We look forward to seeing you again.